Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and I'm here to talk about the Alien story. This episode forms a part of my series on all the lore and history of Elite Dangerous. By late 3303, the Thargoids were seen as a clear and present danger by all three superpowers. Pushed by what were claimed to be Thargoid attacks against human military targets, eventually the superpowers decided to respond. This led to the formation of a scientific research group known as Aegis, a joint venture between the Empire, Federation and Alliance. Aegis quickly established Donar's Oak, a research facility located in the Pleiades Nebula. The research of Aegis was not to be constrained to research for long, however. Within approximately 1 month, Aegis was expanded into a defense agency. As a part of this new designation, Aegis quickly set to developing anti-Thargoid weaponry by enlisting assistance of engineers Professor Palin and Liz Ryder. This work was known as Project Parity. The new weaponry and modules became available in relatively short time, and pilots of the galaxy quickly fitted these to their ships. It wasn't long before commanders were taken on and quickly destroying the Thargoid interceptors known as the Cyclops variant. Whilst the weaponry proved to be very effective when fitted to smaller ships, it soon proved to be too difficult to fit to capital-class ships or stations, and thus they continued to remain at the mercy of the Thargoid attacks. Humanity, now capable of defending themselves against the Thargoids, went on a full assault of the alien race, with commanders often taking on and destroying the Cyclops wherever and whenever they could find them. However, before long, a new, stronger variant of the Thargoid interceptor, known as the Basilisk, began to appear. This led to a new arms race, as Aegis scrambled to develop weaponry capable of defeating this new, far more powerful foe. By the end of 3303, Aegis expanded its capabilities with the introduction of 25 new research stations that were to be distributed throughout the Pleiades sector. Continued research ultimately led to new breakthroughs in understanding Thargoid communications, as well as the alien star data located within the Thargoid star maps. But 3303 did not end well for Aegis. On 14th of December, the Thargoids attacked 3 Aegis space stations, each located within the Pleiades sector. Lehman Legacy in HIP 16753, the Oracle in the Pleiades sector IRW, and Titan's Daughter in Taygeta. These attacks coincided with the arrival of the most powerful Thargoid interceptor yet seen, the Medusa. Such was the scale of the assault against these stations that they were effectively rendered dysfunctional. Rescue megaships were dispatched, and pilots Federation commanders were enlisted to run rescue operations and to help establish resupply lines. The attacks against human stations continued for months, and eventually, in late February of 3304, Aegis confirmed what many people of the galaxy had long expected. The Thargoids were deliberately attacking Aegis stations. So far, no other stations owned by any other factions had come under fire. Due to extensive assistance and coordination by a multitude of different groups, repairs to the Oracle were completed on the 1st of March 3304, with Obsidian Orbital being repaired just a day later. As of April 3304, 4 stations had been fully repaired, with 21 others remaining in a non-functioning state. By the end of February of the same year, it was clear that Thargoids had infiltrated the human core systems. A new variant of Thargoids known as Scout Marauders had begun to appear. These were far smaller than the Interceptor variant, and they were also susceptible to regular human weaponry. Meanwhile, the engineer Rum-Tar had been researching archaeological data on a separate alien species known as the Guardians. In March of 3304, new Guardian ruins were discovered, leading to further technological breakthroughs for Rum-Tar, who quickly developed new human-Guardian hybrid technology. This arrived in the form of various weapons and modules. Unlike the anti-Xeno weaponry developed by Aegis, the new Guardian technology was not aimed purely as an anti-Thargoid tech. Aegis had not remained idle, however, and had established a new communications monitoring system known as Eagle Eye. These beacons, located throughout various systems, were capable of pinpointing active Thargoid bases. Data then discovered at these bases appeared to pinpoint the Thargoids' next targets for attack. Eagle Eye had identified Irandan and HIP 21559 as the next targets. Independent pilots made a massive show of force in HIP 21559, fighting off Thargoid scouts wherever they could find them. Eventually, Glazkov Terminal in Irandan was attacked, while HIP 21559 remained ineffective. It appeared then that Eagle Eye was very much capable of doing its job, and if commanders made a concerted effort against Thargoid scouts, they could repel a potential invasion. Rum-Tar's continued research into the Guardians soon led to new revelations. The Thargoids and Guardians had indeed been at war with each other. This confirmed a number of things, perhaps foremost among them being that the Thargoids are a very ancient race. After all, it is known that the Guardian civilization died out millions of years ago. Another fact uncovered by Rum-Tar's research was that the Thargoids appear to be extremely aggressive and did not respond to any attempts of communication from the Guardians. The Guardians, however, were eventually capable of repelling the Thargoid attacks. Further, Rum-Tar's research showed similarities between the current human Thargoid hostilities and those the Guardians experienced themselves. It appears likely that the Thargoids were a spacefaring race far before the Guardians. Millions of years ago, the Thargoids seeded planetary surfaces with various structures, some of which we today call barnacles. These extremely slow-growing structures were in place when the Guardians eventually colonized various planets. It appears then that the Thargoids saw this as an invasion on their territory, as they had already claimed these planets thousands of years before the arrival of the Guardians. Today, humanity finds itself in a remarkably similar position, as we have apparently settled on planets that Thargoids long ago claimed. It's interesting to note that Thargoids are known to be insectile creatures, and some suggest it follows that their motivations may be insect-based. It's known from study of insects based on Earth that when a foreign element invades a certain insect's territory, then those insects will stop at nothing until the foreign element is completely and utterly eradicated. In this sense, territorial ownership may not be based upon the same sense of possession as humans understand the concept, but rather that territory for Thargoids is an extension of their very being, and they feel humanity has invaded that. If there are deeper motivations or meaning behind the Thargoid invasion, however, it currently remains completely unknown. Aegis now continue to make a stand against Thargoid hostility, and currently have two military flagships standing by, one in the Ascinder system and another in Mentor. Humanity awaits the next steps of the Thargoid invasion, their plans and intents unknown. However, it seems likely they are moving ever closer towards the capital worlds of the Federation, Alliance and Empire. Check out my YouTube channel for further details on the alien story, and be sure to check back often for more lore-related videos. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.